Hello, comrades. Welcome back to the city of Neuve Revergrad, where our money doesn't move nearly as fast. I think that's a good thing, but if you've watched one of the episodes this week, you know, it unnerves me. There we go. We got a little bit of income. It's just very strange to see this not moving for me. It's been moving for decades in the game. So, in any event, we have a wonderful city here. And we do have some problems, and I'd like to do one thing to kind of finish up last episode. And that is, if you guys haven't watched, except for the Saturday summary here, you will see that we have designed quarries and crushers and aggregate storage and coal drop-off and some cement plant and prefabs and passenger loops to get some trams, I think, up here. We still have to design a tram station up here, and we have a tram going this way that kind of crosses this road, which I'm not overly happy with, but I don't think there's going to be too many vehicles coming in and out of here. We have to get some power and probably some gas stations up in here, but we'll do that in another episode. What I wanted to do now is just sort of commit to everything, but before I did, I wanted to give you guys a chance to see it because it stands out a lot better. Some things disappear altogether. So yeah, well, if you really want to know what's happening here, you probably need to go watch the last couple episodes. But in general, we should have a fairly well-functioning city. And what I'd like to do, as I said, is just go ahead and commit. I call it commit. Start construction planned. And then let's come over to railways. And these connections. And conveyors. And that should be about it. Now, I went ahead, but if you watched the last episode, I went and just sort of deleted all these connections so there'd be a few less road connections, and then I'd like to get whatever construction makes sense. Yeah, see, I like breaking that into one, just makes it one big long road, makes them a little more efficient. Is that all we can work on? Yeah, that's the only construction. I kind of figured that. And yeah, we're going to need to, well, we can get these guys assigned to something. Let's see, why don't we get you building that, and thank you, game safe, and this. Oh, we got three. Okay. Well, we might as well get somebody else doing, say, this one. Oh, doesn't connect. Why doesn't it connect? Oh, because we can't really loop through there. All right, we'll work on that. There's a lot of little touching up things that we need to do. So do we want to make a connection this way? I think it would make sense. Well, let's do that right now. Yeah, we'll just do a double doer if we can. Oop, wrong way. Let's have it. A true double doer. What are you doing now? Crazy game. Yeah, see, sometimes you get these. This may be blocking us, and then it does something goofy. Let's see. Let's see if getting rid of that node. No, it just wants to do something goofy, but I did see. Now this one should just follow that one. Yep. All right, so we'll commit to that. And then we can say build that one. Now, he won't spend too long, but we'll see. I don't know if we'll come back in this episode to reassign more stuff, but there we go. We're out there building. So we're getting started on this. Now, the only other thing is, do we have any construction crews left here? Yeah, this guy. Just that one. Yeah, at some point in this next week, we might consider, might as well just assign him to help. Why not? So we might consider another construction office here. I don't know. It's a good amount to build all of this, but we're not necessarily in a super duper hurry. And we got that. So let's head back over to Neuve Revergrad. And I think we might finish up here and talk about the economy. Let's just do a bit of a summary as to how things are going and make sure people are working. So we have this construction office, and then we got some people in here, but we need to get like this road done here. Doesn't connect. Oh, that's still not done? Good Lord. What is... Let's see, part of the problem is I can't... It's going to be too far away for other people to walk up here. So I'm not sure that even building this house... I don't think that putting people in this house is going to be very good unless we can use the bus stop. Can we go from a bus stop to a tram stop? Let's just see. I never tried that. I know we have some spare buses. Do we have them here? Yes. I guess just a regular bus. 85 sounds like enough. Can we get this to go from here? Oh, yeah. Huh. You know what? You can start that. I know that doesn't seem like it'll make much difference, but the people from this house, if we get, especially if we gave them a footpath, give these guys a footpath, and those guys, and then get these guys working on something else. All right, so this is a walking road, but this wasn't. So we'll see if that's... I don't think that'll be too far, though it won't be too efficient, but all they need to do is go get some food. We'll see. So I want to move more people in, but even these guys can't get to the food up here. So this is our shopping center. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to get through this way. But then again, now that I did this, is there anybody living here? He's only got one complaint, and he's pretty happy. Yeah, then part of the problem is he's walking all the way around, right? Let's see. Get them footpaths out to there. All right, I don't want to do too much work in this episode, but there we go. So we got a few people here. Yeah, their happiness has gone up from when it initially goes down whenever you plop them into these buildings. Like it sort of resets them, I think, to like some mediocre happiness. So there we go. So we have food and sellers and shoppers. And once we get this built, I think they'll be able to walk up here from like this house. And then hopefully these guys, see right now they have to walk all the way around. And then you know what, we probably, this would make a lot of sense too, wouldn't it? All right, so let's take a look at what else. And all of this, getting these people in, not all of it, but a lot of it, is with the idea. Now, do we get fire trucks in here? Good, and we have firefighters. Okay, so we should be reasonably safe. Now, we do have another firehouse, I think. Oops, not fire truck. Give me the firehouse. Yeah, so we should be reasonably safe. Yeah, look at that. All that's protected. And I think I have another firehouse somewhere up in here. If not, we'll take a look. We probably need one over this way, don't we? But let's see what happens. We're really not done designing this at that point either. So when we get done designing this, because we're going to have like conveyors and whatnot, I hope, getting all this stuff down to here. We certainly need to work that out one way or the other. And then we could talk about another firehouse, which might be a bit of a problem until we get more people anyway. So there we go. So there's Bricksville, slowly but surely being worked on. And yeah, we're just sort of focusing on getting... Is that done finally? Oh, good. It got done just while we were sitting here. Yeah, work on this road and that footpath. Oh, you're auto searching. Okay, you're not able to auto search that far, I don't think. So we'll get him helping with some of this stuff. All right, and then we're into here. Let's just focus on getting these things finished, and then we'll expand out. But I'd like to get this. This is a rail construction that I think can get every which way. I hope, and then we'll have to build this stuff for aggregate unloading and just unloading parts and pieces. Then we can start getting the trains built over here. Oh, look, these guys. These guys are just sort of helping, and they might as well keep helping. Yeah, they're assigned to, so we'll let them build. They built these bridges, and they're working their way into here. So it doesn't matter as long as they're busy. Good. And then these construction offices, yeah, so they're going to this small bus platform, but they're not going to be getting many people. Right? This one's not. So let's switch this one. So what I'm looking at is they're going over to the Rail South Corridor bus stop, which is over by Neuve Revergrad. Jeez. Sorry, make you guys seasick. All right, so we want them to go to here. Really, all of these, we want to go to here. Right, yeah, so they'll go to here and here, and then very shortly we'll get this ramped up with more people, and that should be enough to really help us speed our construction up. For now, I'll leave this guy, and the other one will be going to Rail South or something, yeah, corridor, Rail Corridor S platform, train platform. So they're going over to Neuve Revergrad, and so are these guys. But eventually we'll get them to all grab people out of here. So we got 4 construction offices over here ready to do work. Now, you guys aren't assigned anything, and I was just trying to get all these roads done because they don't really need people to do too many of the roads. And is that... Let's just see. Yeah, I think that's all the roads. And what I really am doing, too, is waiting. Let's have them start working on a coal mine. And we'll have these guys work on another coal mine as well. And then whatever happens, happens, right? Won't be that efficient till we get more people, but... So what I want to do is build each of these coal mines so I know the percentage of the output. That's not a coal mine. So I think I have 1, 2... 3, 4. I had 5. 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once we know the percentage of those, then we'll be able to better calculate how many of these ore processing plants we need, and then we'll be able to build more for the storage and everything else. Okay. All right, so that keeps them going and gives you guys a little bit of an overview as to what's happening there. And we'll continue on our typical clockwise rotation. Here we are to our cement prefabs. We are over to Autograd. Now, this is another thing I want to look at. Yeah, you know what? We could let them finish this one vehicle, but what other vehicles do we want to build? I think I kind of probably just want to pause it for the moment. We could use a little bit more farm equipment if we were to build farms. Yeah, I really think we're in pretty good shape. I'll go around and take a better assessment, which is just boring as heck. Just looking around. I think we have enough buses. I mean, farm equipment, I do have a couple extra fire trucks. Yeah, you know what? Let's switch to fire trucks. This guy will be done in a second. There you go. That way we don't waste the building effort. Let's get some of these guys out of the... Close all that. Hey, we were kind of getting filled up anyway, weren't we? Then we got those refrigerated ones. Let's... I think I'll put 2 of them in here, just so that they're all spread out and I have a hard time finding them in the future. All right, so this is 2 more refrigerated, and then so we have these buildings are darn near full. So let's take another 4 of these ones. We're gonna have a couple other cities coming, so I know each city, each shopping center is gonna need like 3 of these things. So we're gonna come over to this one, It doesn't make a difference. And we'll just put them in here. So these are my two storage areas for vehicles, I guess you could call them. I think I might not have sent one of those, but there we go. So we're getting to the point that we might even consider just switching this over to cars. But like I said, I'll take another assessment that I don't want to do in the middle of our Saturday summary of what vehicles we could probably use. You can see we have some extra mixers. There's the extra fire trucks. We're going to make a few more extra fire trucks. Not too many. Yeah, we're pumping them out. So yeah, expect us to get switched over maybe to more cars. And how is our car? Yeah, we don't have a train waiting here, so we're probably doing pretty well. What's our economy look on this year? We have, oh, it's January 2nd. How about last year? I was going to say 157 million in vehicles. So when you look at how much we've exported, we've actually made the most of our money exporting vehicles. So that's good. What else have we made money? Bitumen, prefab, fuel, mechanical components. Yeah, other little things here and there that we've exported. I don't want to export too many food and clothes. Oh, you know, that could have been when I was straightening out the vehicles. Just sort of exported. You know, same thing with the alcohol. We're not making alcohol anymore. Like last year was kind of a long time ago. So we'll see what this year looks like as we get to it. But if you notice, like that money just doesn't move. Like if we look at last month, well, look at this year, or last year. If you look, it's just spikes, right? And then as far as our imports go, kind of wanted to do this at the end. Look at that. We're just, a lot of those, I know I'm buzzing through them kind of quick, but you can see there's, some of them are just darn near zero, and some of this is just like purchasing, you know, a road or something like that. So we'll see. But yeah, no, we're in real good shape. Now, one of the next construction things we're doing, we started out. Let's make sure these guys have stuff to do. Yeah, unfinished road. So they're working on. I built another road parallel to this one that'll connect these two towns and also let the construction crews get back and forth. Thank you, Game Safe. We put in a construction office and a gas station, right? Yeah. And what I'm going to do is build plastic tin. So we've got the new Stone Town, if anybody has a suggestion for the name besides cement or prefab, which isn't the most exciting name, you know, for what we call our quarry cement prefab town. And we'll have a new plastic tin over here, which will use this oil field. I don't plan on having a refinery. I just plan on having a town here, plastic production, chemical production. Would even consider maybe putting in another lumber yard type situation, just for the wood, not even like a wood cutting post to bring some wood into the chemicals. And then the plastics, and then over here slightly we'll have mechanical components, and one way or the other we'll get people out of, you can see we have a lot more planned in Tagliati that I never took advantage of, but we'll bring people from there up to here, and then this will be a separate town to do plastics and chemicals. Now chemicals, it's just because it's so slow producing this stuff. So I don't know that we're even producing enough at this moment. We don't seem to be purchasing any, but I'd like to keep ahead of that because we really haven't ramped up our clothing. And it would be nice to be able to better ramp up, you know, our electronics in general and be able to export them. And I don't want to starve them of the chemicals. So we can do a pretty big chemical/plastics area over here to support this, which is where most of that stuff's going to go. And then the chemicals that we're producing here could mostly go over to our clothing area, which is sort of jumping the gun as far as what we're doing and have done this week. So does that make sense as far as the overall picture? Now, some of the reasons for doing this, and I've kind of decided that this will sort of be the end of the playthrough when we build these things. So we have to design this, and that'll be like the last major designs. We'll do some improvements. Part of the reason is because everything will have a more modern or somewhat better layout. These last industries over here at Energenisk, like I just sort of shoved the plastics in because I could, because it was close. I needed oil, it was close, and you know I could bring chemicals over here by train, but it's really, you know, far from ideal if you ever wanted to expand it. The refinery's doing fine, but then same thing here with the mechanical components. The reason this is here is because it was close to this steel, and I could drive trucks back and forth. So I'd like to get a proper mechanical components, a proper plastics. And as I said, chemicals I'm fine with. It's just that, I mean, it's probably could have been done better. But at the same time, you know, it's fine. It's a nice big chemical producing area. But we're just not making enough. And it's going to be kind of, I don't want to go up on top of this mountain trying to put more in here. I could probably shove a few more here, but probably be just as easy to build a new area by our new oil field and kind of be done with it at that point. So, having said all of that, Energenisk is going to lose a fair number of its people. So we might want to consider what we do here. The other reason for moving this is a mess of traffic every time a train gets stuck here. Though things have been a lot better. And one of the reasons that things have been better is because I don't know if we're done this. Are we all done? No, this isn't all electrified. You know what? Let's get some of this going on electrified. Even it won't take them that long. Probably take me longer to electrify it than it will for, well, take them longer, but you get the idea. Yeah, so building this way is certainly more cumbersome for me, but it definitely makes them a lot faster when it comes to their ability to get these things done. Hopefully I didn't miss anything there. And some of this has already been electrified to a certain point, so I'll show you what I mean when we get there. Get it? No, you didn't. Oh, no, you did. Okay. I think you did. Wasn't sure if the game save blocked me or not. I thought more of this had been electrified. I know somewhere. This is kind of a long stretch of track, and the reason for this... Oh, there we go. Are you electrified? Oh, no, you're not. Oh, there's a little dot right there before the signal. Come on, I know some of you have been electrified. Make a liar out of me. Oh, I can see the no electricity symbol up ahead. There we go. There we go. All right, so heading back over to here, we can get, well, we can mark this for electrification too. Getting away from the Saturday summary thing, aren't I? That's all right. We can get a little work done. And I'll send the guys from all the way down the other end to do that. But these two in here can start from this end. Nope, doesn't connect. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think we're just going to purchase this rather than change all those. At least till they get past the crisscross here. Right now they should be able to get in there. do is we'll head all the way over to here. And these guys aren't doing anything else, I'm sure. And we'll get them to... what happened here? Oh, that's just because of the crisscross. It's saying no electrical signal. And then we can assign these guys to do this one and this one. And when they meet in the middle, that'll be this loop done, where trains will be able to go around and avoid this area, even if I have to give them waypoints. I don't know if it was worth all of that, but what the heck. It's that way they can come in here, loop in, drop off supplies to Revergrad, and not have to like cut through here to get up to here, if that makes sense. And I even have a second track that I just sort of tied in, and we can consider just if it gets too busy in here. This is actually a pretty busy area with trains coming through, but we'll see. Things are flowing pretty nicely. So there you go. So that's all part of lessening the traffic here, getting this industry out of here, getting a nice bigger plastics production and a bigger mechanical components, some extra chemicals hopefully. And eventually we really need to talk about getting rid of this power plant as a potential thing, because it's polluting the town. And this bricks, we're building Bricksville, so we could possibly even get rid of this, which again, just kind of jammed in stuff. But then we won't have anything to do with our coal, so we'll see, right? And then that would give like almost no point to Energinisk other than for oil. So we'll see. Maybe if these are gone, we could build a railroad track to get get the coal out of here. Again, this was all early in the game stuff. This was our second power plant, but the first one. And when we built this, there was no pollution in the city. So we'll see. Maybe we just redo things here a bit so they're out of the way of the pollution when we need less people here to begin with. And that'll be the kind of things we might finish up as we wrap up the map and just have a little bit of fun with some fine tuning instead of building bigger and bigger. So during the week, the other thing I did, just to mention, is and one of the reasons this money isn't moving is I spent probably hours total making sure that each of these distributions seem to have enough stuff. Now that we have clothing and meat being produced, so we are producing some clothing. I could tell this guy already went and dropped off a full load, came back, he's got 71 tons of clothes. So without knowing exactly how everybody's doing, it's why we're not buying clothes anymore. Yeah, we're fairly well into this month. What have we purchased? Probably just the stuff to do those. We did a little bit of meat, so we are still buying some meat, which we'll have to look at. A tiny bit of clothes, so we might try to figure out where we're running out. Or we just, again, I want to ramp this up to we'll have clothes coming out our ears. And right now we're just really running like one of these at this point. So we'll get this ramped up, but that'll also mean doing a little bit more maybe housing, get some more housing over here. But we'll see. Let's see how we're using these people. We'll start analyzing this and then firing this up. But I also kind of want to get those chemicals going. And, it's a whole like balancing act. You can't just ramp up the clothing. You just run out of chemicals, and then you won't be making electronics. And you guys get the idea. We shut off our vodka altogether. So we are a dry town, or a dry empire. Empire. Yeah. I can think what I want. Leave me alone. So in any event, and the reason for that is just to make sure we have enough crops, right? We're picking up crops here and taking them on their way over to the clothing, but the clothing is eating up quite a bit of crops. So we'll see how that balances out. We could restart this, but I have a feeling we may even need more crops for this. And I didn't want to starve our bread production for the sake of that. So moving on over. Yeah, this is another one that was sort of jammed in here, though it's fine, this prefabs. This is where I was starting to get better at building, but this was still an early town. But at least we got a train in here to be able to get these things. And we do have a train in here that's kind of around the way in order to get gravel out of here. So this is our only gravel production. I don't think it'll hurt just to have another gravel production, another cement factory. I really don't like the location of this cement factory. So it's not that it's bad or anything, it's just kind of hard to expand it too much. But again, once we get the other one built, we can talk about cutting this one off and making this area better. So this whole area here is kind of very similar to what we just designed over there, the town unnamed, the town formerly known as Prince or something like that. You know, I guess it was never known as anything. Never mind, ignore me. So anyway, this is our stone. So we'll be able to improve this maybe and demolish some things and redo it as maybe, but we'll see. It's sort of all fine. But it does force us not to be taking cement around with trains very well, which I kind of would like to do. And moving on over to Moo Ranch. So we have the ranches here. If there's something that's consistently slowing us down, it's not having enough livestock. So at this point, yeah, see, we're not producing enough. And if we're not, it's because we need to get more of these ranches going, which will demand more of our corn. But that's something we might start doing relatively soon. We still have a construction crew here, and we have Kameen over here, construction. In the last episode, did we get power to this guy? Yeah, okay, good. So there you go, Steve. Thank you. Steve noticed that this building did not have power. So now we do. So hopefully these people will be getting happier, because escapes is something we'll talk about a little bit when we get around to Neuve Revergrad again. And there we go. That's what's happening over here, is that we will ramp this up probably sooner than later. I just don't want to get into it too much today. You know, I could at least do this, right? I think all the roads are built. Yeah, let's just assign these. Won't hurt. Give them something to do. Same thing, Kameen, do you guys have anything to do? No, you don't. Why don't you just go help for the sake of helping? I'll assign you in the opposite order. There we go. So we'll get a few more of those going. Now this corn train is coming from the outside world. And oh, he loads up any excess that the other guy puts in here. And he just sort of waits. Right? So he's going to wait until there's excess corn that comes from this train. So that way if we supply all of our things with this silo, then this silo can just be for exports. However, if we get all of this going, depending on how it works out, we might want to build another silo up here that's for the final drop-off. Like we could even just build it right here. Might have to redo the tracks a bit. And then that way we get 2 silos full to provide to all of these livestock ranches. Then we would have like our export silo over here somewhere. We'll see. For now, this is working. You know, do we have enough corn? Yeah, see, so we're making sure this gets topped off. These guys get supplied. Then we drop our excess off from the farm here. Good. So that seems to be doing exactly what I wanted it to do for now. And over here, Farminsky has been doing well educating the masses. So Farminsky, they don't have any jobs here other than to take in the students from Kemsol and over there by Lumbriska. So we're busing students to the university here, and they're all getting educated. And if you want to look, there's no university in this town, but we have 120 university educated, more than enough. So this is working very well. Same thing, I looked at Lumbriska not too long ago, within this week. Now, we don't have a lot of people. No meat. Are you... Yeah, see, this is... See, I stopped the purchasing from here. And we're really... You kind of tend to get into these death spirals. So this is definitely where people could be escaping from. Pub, tavern, church. Yeah, why is it just... Now, do we have them assigned? Hospital, school, unspecified, bus platform, unspecified. Yeah, we're just not getting any sellers. Well, let's go grab some people for now. I don't want our... Do we have a lot in here? Yeah, I'll take it from that building. No, we don't have too many here. Yeah, it looks like we already stole from there. How are we doing here? Alright, let's take a few people from Kami. It's kind of concerning. I don't know why we wouldn't... I mean, we do have a fair number of people living here. I want to very specifically put them in the... Well, I'm just going to fill them all back up. And then I think what we need to do is let's assign this building. Is the issue that we have too many educated? Yeah, so I'm going to assign you to all of the buildings, except for the pub. Right, and then the firehouse. A lot less to the firehouse. A lot less to the cinema. There, so that should... Is that the problem, though, is that they're just... You know, we'll see. Let's hopefully get... We'll check that out again. I mean, I'm glad we checked what we did. Do we have enough trees? Yeah, we got enough trees. You can see why I use those light-colored trees, because it just sort of really stands out. Yeah, so that's a bit concerning. But hopefully that fixed the problem by assigning these people. That means this one here is unspecified. They can decide whatever they want. We don't really need that many people for our lumber industry. Do we have any problems with the lumber industry? No. I see the train for wood is sitting here. Let's make sure. We got a whole yard full of wood. This is corn. And then we got the stone train. So yeah, we should be doing pretty well here. Yeah, not as many people as I'd like to see. Are we having... we definitely have enough people. We could probably start specifying some of these guys go to like this bus stop. Alright, let's specify 2 of these houses go to that bus stop. Hopefully that doesn't mess too much up. And what are you doing? Yeah, so you're going to that one. Let's make sure. And then you... Oh. You know what? We're going to unspecify this one. And then let's specify this one. Just as... And then how are we doing? We're kind of filled up on the kindergarten, aren't we? There is no kindergarten for 27 people. So let's see. That's educational. When the game save gets done. Let's hit control. There we go. Okay, you already found the road. Alright, so he'll start building that. So we'll get another kindergarten. Where is our other one? There it is, right in the middle. Well, that should certainly help. So maybe we're not getting as many people as we need in here because we're short on the kindergarten. You know, we could probably squeeze another one. I don't know if we need that many for this many houses, but certainly geographically... Can I get you to at least building level? Let's... I think I could fit that in if it was a little more level. Nah, it really doesn't want to go in there. Won't fit there. Well, let's just see what the one does. I don't want to spend too much time. We're already at 39 minutes. Though we have gone a good way around our map, right? We're almost back to Revergrad. And how are we doing on food? Well, you know, it's not sitting there being... Well, this one's sitting there. So we got 2 trains coming in. And they're both off delivering. How far? I'm just trying to get an idea... So this one's heading back, so that's good. So you know, I'd like to maximize our production. I don't want them sitting there with the warehouse full. Now the other thing to look at is are these, doesn't take these long to, yeah, they're filled up. So he's heading back and he still has 45. So that's kind of a good sign. It means we've got food everywhere. We could even consider starting to export it. So good. So then, yeah, we got plenty of corn. How are we doing here for corn? Oh, yeah, we're dead filled. Good. So really, you know, we haven't purchased any food to speak of, I don't think, while we've been playing time forward. Meat and clothes. And again, we're just going to ramp both of those up. Prefab panels, steel, that was probably, that was when I built those the railroads over there. So really just, yeah, a little bit of clothes ticking up. Now, the other thing, now that I've gone, one of the big things I've done is I stopped purchasing anywhere except for these warehouses. So each of these is going to purchase extra clothing or extra whatever. We're not doing the electrical mechanical components. But as far as the things that people need, so you can see we're down to 20, which means we're purchasing clothes here. So let's make sure we have a closed train, because we have a lot of trains these days. There we go. We got a closed train. And it is at the clothing cargo station. And MB distribution is the last one. So let's go look at Autograd distribution. All right, let's see where the clothes are. See, so now I can bump around these. See, we got 42 here. So I'm going to hold off because I know at one point when I looked, we didn't have any at NR distribution over here, Nueve Rivergrad. So let's see, how are we doing? Yeah, so we're going to get more clothes in here, so we'll see. We may even need another clothing train, but we're going to ramp all that up. So I'm kind of curious to see if we're even making enough at this moment. And the reason we're purchasing it is because we're probably not, you know, filling all these up 100%. But we'll see. How much? Let's go over here real quick because we can get a better idea. Yeah, there's clothes. 63. So we've only used 10 over here because we almost know that these were filled up, right? And we haven't used any here, which is a little bit concerning. Oh, is that the clothing? No, that's food. And let's make sure we're... Yeah, well, we're not purchasing it. We're full up there, and then... This is the other smaller shopping center. Yeah, we're full up there, so we're just full of clothes here, which makes sense because it's the closest one. So yeah, I think that we'll be getting some clothing over to MB with the next train. It just takes it a while to fill all these things up. So there we go. So food seems to be okay, clothing, and there was some happiness issues here. Has time helped us? It certainly hasn't hurt. Right, so that's one of the reasons I looked in the very beginning. I've been looking at this house because he's kind of the furthest. Yeah, they're definitely getting better. And like when we look at these trains here, see 390 passengers plus 133 students is going to be like 500 and some. Now that train just went right on by. But and I did cut some of the trains off from stopping at this stop if they stopped at this one. So, but we might even want another train or two in here. And that's good because that'll give us an idea how many we need over here when we start building more on that. Because as we get this construction planned for the mechanical components in Plasticton, then we'll come back into here and start thinking about things like Radomir has been doing some experiments on the train, you know, what benefit do the radio stations have? And since we'll have so many and whatnot, now we're getting people here? Yeah, a few. I do want to check something else out. Does that change all of them? No. So we can have like a Soviet propaganda one. Right? And then I don't think we're getting anybody into the TV station. Now, but we'll work on that. We'll get some people over here one way or the other. We could do like educational strength, right? And then, you know, have each one doing different things. Communist Party headquarters. Is anybody coming to work in this one? Yeah. I guess that's just like students, you know. So I guess one day maybe they plan on breaking it up into different occupations where you'd have communist leaders and doctors, engineers, and whatever else would be, you know, scientists and engineers. And then this is a medical, so that would be doctors and nurses, I suppose. Radio broadcasters, because they, I think these are like the educated people versus the staff. So we could, well, they don't really have a general college, do they? General university? That's not exactly how you'd find it. If you come into here, though, yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't have a general university unless they consider that this, like, you know, like a liberal arts kind of thing, or. I mean, that's probably where you'd go to become an actor, but we'll see. I'm sure they can add that. The mechanic probably wouldn't be that hard to come up with. And then let's take a look. How is our steel doing? I mean, we're obviously not running out for our construction. And we had a little bit of a run on things. Yeah, why are we not? Yeah, he's moving. Yeah, I guess we could consider exporting some steel. This guy just left. This guy, yeah, see, he's only dropped off 100, and he goes through all. This is nice when you get all these depots set up, because you can really kind of tell how much you're dropping off, right? Like, these both have the same thing, and this guy's like right behind him, dropping off even less. So I could start reading, you know, this guy's going to be on his way back when he makes one more stop right here. You know, we can even we don't have to come over here. We can click and see how much he has. Now, if we do come over here, let me just close all that. You know, obviously we can see it's pretty much full. So he's going to be looping back around with pretty much a full load of steel. So it probably would be worth maybe at least getting one of those guys to export. And that's where we also want to ramp up, because I'd rather be exporting mechanical components. And then we did shut off our production over here, did we? No, we didn't. Let's let them build this one, and then we're going to stop it. All right, so we got a bunch of extra fire trucks and and everything else. There we go. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. I mean, I think that, you know, if we take a look at our economy, this was the month that we just spent in the summary. You know, we just only exported some bitumen, and look, we only spent, I mean, if we didn't spend this 500,000 almost, yeah, that's 500,000 right there. We only spent a little over $1 million on meat and clothes, and we're pretty much talking about eliminating that expense in the near future. You know, and then just one train of bitumen got exported. If we start exporting more of that steel and other things, I think we'll be in really great shape. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions, this has been another Saturday summary. So thank you, guys. I hope you have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.